Welcome to the Weekly Anchor, a moment set aside for some encouragement.
Hi, Anchor. I hope you're doing well. I just wanted to share something that's been encouraging to me lately from Scripture. This past year has been a time where I've had a lot more time on my hands, and I've sort of seen that as a opportunity to really press in to my devotional time and to really spending time with God, whether it be in Scripture, in worship, in prayer, or just spending time with Him in general. And I know a lot of people have felt the same way. And I think that with that comes this extra feeling of guilt and condemnation when we miss the mark, when we don't carve out that time for devotion, or we just spend it doing something different. And I've been encouraged by the fact that, every time we come to God in our devotional time to spend time with God, He's just delighted, no matter how long it's been between the last devotional time. He's just so happy to see us and so willing to forgive and so willing to have compassion over us and to meet us where we are. And I think a passage in Scripture that really illustrates this well is the parable of the prodigal son, which is in Luke chapter 15. In this story, we have a son who asks for his father's inheritance early and then goes and squanders it, doing his own thing away from his father, and ends up eating out of a pig trough, wishing he was back home with his father. And he decides that he's going to go back and maybe his father will take him in as a servant so that he can at least eat. And then in verse 20 we find, "And he rose and came to his father. But while he was still a long way off, his father saw him and felt compassion, and ran and embraced him and kissed him. And the son said to him, 'Father, I have sinned against heaven and before you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son.' But the father said to his servants, 'Bring quickly the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet, and bring the fattened calf and kill it, and let us eat and celebrate. For this my son was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found.' And they began to celebrate." And here we just have this great illustration of, just regardless of what, this son did, and regardless of how long he was away, his father missed him. His father had compassion for him when he saw him coming. He was delighted when he saw him coming in the distance, regardless of what he had done. A lot of us, we may not be, doing terrible things while we're, not in devotional time. We may just be missing our time, but I think this point still carries through in that, no matter how long it's been, no matter how hard we are on ourselves, if we come seeking forgiveness, God is willing to forgive us. He's willing to be compassionate, and He loves us, and He delights in our presence. And I've just found this to be very encouraging to me in this time, and I hope it is for you as well. Thanks.
Thanks for joining us. Have a great week.